All right, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? What is up? What is good? Hope everyone's ready to get their fix, as I like to say. A lot is happening. Straight chaos in the National Football League today. It is unbelievable. Let's see what we got in the chat right now. Let's see who we got. Okay, we got A-Rules. Let's go. What's up, my guy? Got Steelers Nation Australia. Mark in the building. What's going on? They just got Pat P. We'll touch on that here in just a couple minutes. Hopefully we hear something about the Vikings. Oh, we will, A-Rules. We will. We got some more. Gage says, crazy day. Unbelievable. I've done this before. When I first started Get Your Fix, I was actually going to be like doing my shows. I also created a bunch of like Instagram posts, so I like had to like edit pictures and stuff like that, and I couldn't keep up. I was on my phone 24/7. It was ridiculous. I went away from that, thank God. I'm glad I'm not doing that anymore. But we're gonna be here covering basically everything that happened. Basically everything. I didn't touch on the Denver Broncos, but I will talk on them just because I know they signed a right tackle and a guard. I can go look at the tweet and stuff like that, but yeah, man, you guys are ready. Crazy how Jimmy G went to the Raiders and Carr to the Saints. I wonder where Jameis Winston will go now that Carr took over. For real, man, I'm excited. I'm interested to see what happens with him. I don't know. Back to the Bucks? I doubt it. There's a lot of teams, though, that need quarterbacks. A lot of teams. John says, so much happening. Mind blown. You're darn right. Yeah, A-Rules. His name is Josh Oliver. Josh Oliver is who we got. All right, so we got a decent crew in here today. I will pause the music, and we will get right down to business. Because we got a lot to talk about. Probably going to be live for at least an hour, depending on how fast I go through all this and get you guys' take on a little bit of everything. So let's get to it, shall we? Let's get to it. All right, so for those of you that don't know, today started the legal tampering period for the National Football League, which basically means that players and teams can meet up, reach an agreement on a deal. However, the deal doesn't become finalized until, I believe, Wednesday at 3 p.m. Central Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because that is the start of the new league year. All right? Yeah. Hey, we're back. Year one, or not year one, how do I say it? The new year is about to begin. The old year is about to end. But there's been a lot of movement so far today because, obviously, the legal tampering period opened up. We have a lot to talk about. We'll put it that way. Probably about 12, 15 things to kind of dive into. Legal tampering, these deals were done yesterday. Yeah, for real. They just became finalized today. So, going Thanos on it, he better not. So, a lot has happened. First thing today, the first thing I seen, which kind of caught my eye, other than Jimmy G, which we're going to touch on here in just a little bit, was Austin Ekeler. Now, I released a video on him basically stating that Austin Ekeler is requesting permission. I guess I can pull this tweet up real quick. Right here. It says, Austin Ekeler is requesting permission to speak with other teams about a potential trade after preliminary talks with the team aimed at a contract extension did not progress. His agent, Carmen Weiss, whatever, he told somebody about that. And it makes sense, right? Because Austin Ekeler's only due about $2.25 million this upcoming season, which is scheduled to be the last year of his contract. Now, I think we've seen enough from Austin Ekeler where he's a dog, okay? 25 rushing touchdowns, okay? 1,800 yards rushing in the past 2 years, 177 catches, 13 receiving touchdowns. I believe that is the most, where is it? Right here. Nope. If I can find it. Yeah, no player has more touchdowns in the NFL during that stretch. Okay, a true game changer. Over the last 2 seasons, 1,826 yards. Austin Ekeler is an absolute animal, freak of nature. I don't understand why the Chargers don't want to pay him. Maybe it's because they have not enough salary cap or what the case may be. But I think, it's easy to find a running back in this league. It really is. You can literally, they're a dime a dozen. They come, they go, how you doing, keep it moving. You've seen how fast Todd Gurley was in the league and how quickly he was a superstar, and then all of a sudden he's out of the league. Where's he at now? No clue. Absolutely no clue. But these things can happen, so I understand that, owners probably don't want to pay running backs anything, okay? And Austin Eckler, he's going to get a deal from somebody, and it's going to be the highest paid running back, or he's going to be the highest paid running back in NFL history. That's just how it's going to go, okay? But when you get that type of production out of Austin Eckler, like you have, or like the Chargers have the last 2 seasons, why not pay him? I'm not sure how old he is. You guys can probably help me out with that one. I'm not sure how old Austin Eckler is, but I think, I'm not sure where he's going to end up, and I'm not sure if this is actually going to go through. I don't know if he's actually going to get traded or what the case may be, but he is not happy. $6.25 million. Yeah, 30. Okay, I think that's about right. I think that's where he is right now, age-wise or whatever. But it's weird. It really is. I want Austin Eckler to get his deal, to get his money, and continue to be a great running back. I think he can go wherever he wants. He can go to Denver. How about that, Gage? You like Austin Eckler in Denver? Who you got as running back if you're still watching? I can't remember. Is it Melvin? No. Oh, it's Javonte Williams. Oh, you are fine. Never mind. Okay. Good to know. But Austin Eckler asking permission to speak with other teams on a potential trade. Contracts talks kind of stopped. Austin Eckler to Minnesota. Nah, I don't think so. Just because we already paid Dalvin so much money and we're going to have to trade him away. I've heard maybe Dalvin for Austin Eckler straight up. I wouldn't like it just because I feel like Austin Eckler is going to get a bigger paycheck than Dalvin Cook. So why would we put ourselves in that type of trouble? I mean, we already did with signing a tight end, but we'll get to that in just a couple minutes here. But Carolina. Okay, yeah, Carolina would be nice. I like that, John. They lose Christian McCaffrey. Don't really have anybody back there besides Chuba Hubbard. Austin Eckler to Carolina. Now that could be doable, especially with losing DJ Moore to the Chicago Bears. So Austin Eckler has a market, man. He has a big market. Not really sure where he's going to end up, but Carolina seems like a good one. 27. So he's got some time. You get him a 3-year deal, send him until he's 30. Oh, my God. How much would you pay him for 3 years? How much would you pay Austin Eckler for 3 years? Per year. You don't have to say, the total contract. But I'd probably pay him, Dalvin got $14 million a year, correct? If I'm not mistaken. So maybe $15 million a year? God, that's so much for a running back, man. So much for a running back. 18? John's saying 18 mil. Okay, a year. Now take in mind, this guy ain't just a running back. No. He's a receiving back as well. So he can get the job done wherever you need him to. I mean, he's a good running back. 20. All he does is score, for real. And he's on the Chargers, right? A team that probably should be good, but year in, year out, they somehow continuously choke. I don't know what the case or what the problem is, but we're in San Diego with Phillip Rivers for all those years. Thought they were something special with Kellen Winslow, Antonio Gates, and LaDainian Tomlinson. How'd that turn out? Not so well. Not so good. Then they go to Los Angeles. Still not good, and they should be. They should. I mean, look what they got last year. Khalil Mack, J.C. Jackson. They had an absolute stacked defense. Derwin James, we're talking. I mean, they were set up for success, and they just completely threw it away. Carolina, he would be the guy. I would be okay. Yeah, McCaffrey is a dog for the 49ers. I agree. Hopefully he stays healthy over there. But, yeah, if I'm Chargers, 10 mil. Okay. Yeah, I would like to see him in Carolina. That's a good choice, John. I do agree with that one. Because they're probably not going to go running back in the draft. If they do, it'll be second or third round. They're definitely going to draft a quarterback number 1 overall, but there has been rumors of them trading that number 1 pick to kind of get some more picks back. So I don't know what's going to happen with Carolina, but I do feel like they're just going to go ahead and select a quarterback. But Austin Eckler permission or seeking permission to speak with other teams for a potential trade after preliminary talks with the team aimed at a contract extension did not progress. All right, so that's the first move. Then we move forward to an interesting deal. If Gage is still watching, he can speak on this a little bit as well. Ian Rappaport tweeted that quarterback Jarrett Stidham, former quarterback or backup quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders, is on the move. Okay, this deal will be finalized on Wednesday, and he's actually ending up in none other than Denver. Former Raiders quarterback Jarrett Stidham is signing a 2-year, $10 million deal with the Denver Broncos, choosing to play for Sean Payton over other options. The deal, which includes $5 million guaranteed and $4 million more in upside, reunites him with Davis Webb, who he has known since he was a teenager. Okay, chemistry obviously means a lot in the National Football League. You have somebody, you're going somewhere where you know somebody, so that helps you out a little bit. Now, this deal, obviously, he's not going to be a starter in Denver. Okay, that's Russell Wilson, so don't get things twisted. Jarrett Stidham's simply going there to be the backup in case Russell Wilson gets injured. Probably not going to happen, knock on wood. Got some over here. We'll knock for Gage because I don't want that to happen for him. But Jarrett Stidham is currently going to be a Denver Bronco. If Gage, if you're watching, what did you think about this deal? What did you think? Do you like it? And who was your backup prior to that, if I can remember? I can't remember off the top of my head who Denver's backup was for some reason. But Jarrett Stidham is a Denver Bronco, 2-year, $10 million. Not too bad of a deal, not too shabby, I'd say so myself. A Rule says, so what about Russell Wilson then? They going to release him or... Now, Jarrett will be the backup. 1,000,000% Jarrett will be the backup, okay? Russell Wilson's going to be their guy. They signed him to that massive contract extension as soon as he was traded from Seattle to Denver. But this is just basically giving Stidham another opportunity elsewhere. And he has the chemistry built with Davis Webb, who he's known since he's a teenager, apparently. Okay, don't know if that really matters too much, but that is kind of the case. Wilson is not looking so hot, though. I mean, yes and no. Yes and no. I think he's right there. It was just a learning period, a learning curve last year. You can also put a lot of it on their head coach, whatever his name was, Nathaniel Hackett. Okay, garbage head coach, terrible time management, play calling, literally the whole everything was just bad, absolutely terrible. And I think Sean Payton's going to go in there and probably turn things around a little bit, get things put on the right track, and I think Russell Wilson will succeed in that Sean Payton offense. But adding Jarrett Stidham for 2 years, that's a good signing, okay? Because Stidham's been here. He's been in the league. He's been able to prove himself, getting a couple starts. I believe in New England he got a start. He got a start a couple starts in Las Vegas, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, no, for real. Yeah, if Peyton can't make it better, and Russell still performs the way he did, even though it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't the greatest thing in the world, then you can blame it on Russ. You can say this guy's done. Okay, he's washed. But at the same time, I don't think he is. I think he's ready to rock and roll. I really, really do. But that was one signing, is the Jarrett Stidham one. There's other things that we can talk about real quick. Calais Campbell, longtime NFL vet, has been released by the Baltimore Ravens. Now, this move actually saves about $7 million in cap space. If I can go find the tweet, I can get his little statement. Why did I pull up? I don't want to pull that up. What are we doing? What are we doing? Okay. All right. Maybe have some news on Aaron Rodgers later. Nothing has been finalized, but let's go find this. So Calais Campbell released by the Baltimore Ravens. This move was simply done just to clear some cap space. Plus, I mean, the man's getting up there in age. He has a future in television. I can't wait to see what he does there. I'm excited because I think he has the potential to be one of the greats, or at least a decent announcer. I'm not sure what his role would be. It's not going to be like in the booth. It's going to be like analysis and stuff like that, like the insiders basically do. But let's see. Where is it at? We're getting close. We are getting close. All right. Calais Campbell. Where you at? Where you at, big dog? All right. Yeah, so Baltimore, okay, Ari Mirov, Baltimore will not rule out a return. Okay, so there's a potential possibility that Calais Campbell returns to the Baltimore Ravens, but they did this move to save $7 million in cap space for the time being. So if they bring him back, they'll probably give him a lower salary and structure it a little bit different. But he kind of, let's see, statement from Executive Vice President and General Manager Eric DaCosta. He said, Calais defines what it is to be a Raven. He personifies professionalism, and his contributions to our organization, both on and off the field, are immense. With his passion, leadership, and toughness, Calais has undoubtedly produced a Hall of Fame-worthy career. I guess, yeah, you can argue that. While this is the worst part of the business, we have not closed the door on the possibility of him returning to our team in the future. I'm not sure what that kind of means, whether that's playing or maybe in a coaching role or whatever it may be, but yes, I am. A lot of it is from Twitter. Keep up with the insiders and stuff like that. But Calais Campbell release saves about $7 million in cap space for the Baltimore Ravens. There's a potential possibility that he returns later on maybe a lower salary or coaching base. Not 100% sure, but he's gone. Next one up, Jason Kelce. Long time great for the Philadelphia Eagles, center for the Philadelphia Eagles, arguably the best center to ever play the game. For sure the best center in the National Football League currently. Jason Kelce, there was question if he was going to retire from the National Football League after they lost in the Super Bowl to the Kansas City Chiefs. That is not going to happen. He has officially announced that he's returning for at least one more season with the Philadelphia Eagles. I kind of seen this coming, especially after losing in that Super Bowl. It just didn't seem like the right time for Jason Kelce to retire because I think he still has more left in the tank. And with what the team did last year, why would you leave a team that's set up for success, right? Because they might lose more. They've lost a couple people on defense, which we'll get to in basically a couple seconds. But I like it. I'm glad he decided to stay. Not, you're saying he's mid? I think Jay Kelce is the best center in the National Football League. No doubt. No doubt in my mind. I mean, he's an absolute animal. Okay, he controls that offense. He's literally the, what do you want to say? The engine. And the rest just go around. I mean, you could say Jalen Hurts and stuff like that, but he is such a leader in that locker room. I like the move of staying in Philly for at least one more season to see what the possibility of them making it back to that Super Bowl again and seeing if he could pull it off and get a ring once more like he did when they beat the Patriots. Was that Super Bowl 52, which was in Minnesota? No, you're good. I'm not blaming you. Everybody's got their own opinion. You're entitled to your opinion. I mean, you could argue that he's mid. Oh, okay. Well, anyways, you get it. But Jason Kelce staying in Philadelphia should be pretty fun to watch. Maybe next year's his last year, kind of his hurrah, retirement tour. We'll see what happens on that front. But speaking of the Philadelphia Eagles, yeah, they got Jason Kelce back, but however, they have lost a staple, a big part of their defense. Not one, but they have lost a couple. We're going to speak on the one for sure. This one's a massive, massive name. And per Adam Schefter, former Eagles defensive tackle Javon Hargrave has reached an agreement on a 4-year, $80 million deal that includes $40 million guaranteed at signing with the San Francisco 49ers. Per sources, deal was negotiated and confirmed by Drew Rosenhaus and Ryan Matha. This is massive. This is massive news. Okay, 49ers, some people might argue that they have the best defense in the National Football League. And if they do, they just got a whole lot better. All right, you're talking Nick Bosa, Javon Hargrave, and Eric Armstead on that defensive line. Think about that. Try running. I dare you. You got Nick Bosa, a freak of nature. He's quick as lightning. Eric Armstead's just a brute. And so is Javon Hargrave, just an absolute brute. He's going to blow up that middle. You're going to have a hard time running directly up the A-gap. And it's going to be a tough day. It's going to be a long day to try to control that clock. Okay, clock management is a big thing in the National Football League. But with the 49ers getting Javon Hargrave signing to such a massive deal, you got to wonder how much cap space they actually have. You have to wonder. Because I'm not sure. I have no clue, to tell you the truth. But he is now officially a 49er. That defense is going to be electric. Now, offensively, not really sure what they're going to do either. Okay, they still have Debo, Christian McCaffrey, Brandon Ayuk. They're built for success. Okay, but their quarterback position, we'll get to Jimmy in just a second, but they have Trey Lance, Brock Purdy, but they actually added one other guy offensively. And this one, I'm confused. I am puzzled, absolutely puzzled. Sam Darnold. 49ers have signed Sam Darnold. Why? Okay, we'll talk about Jimmy here coming up. But why? You're not sold on the fact that Trey Lance might be a guy? What about Brock Purdy, who didn't lose a game that he started last season, except for in the playoffs, I guess you could say? Why? Do you need a third stringer, or are you just going to have Sam on so you have three quarterbacks, decide to cut one of them, maybe you trade Trey Lance? That's a real possibility. You roll with Brock Purdy, Sam Darnold, and now, the rest is kind of history. Where does Trey Lance end up? Does he get traded to Minnesota? I'd be okay with that. I'm sure A. Rules would be okay with that. But Sam Darnold is booty cheeks. He was with the Jets. He was with Carolina, okay? And he's going to be with San Francisco. I want to know the details of this trade. Trey Lance, what you think about them apples? What you think about them apples? I think that'd be cool. I'd be okay with it. But Sam Darnold signing with the San Francisco 49ers, that doesn't make any sense. Any sense to me at all. But it is what it is, right? It is what it is. I wouldn't say we were going to. I'm saying I think it was just a possibility. Like, it wasn't for sure going to happen, but there's a chance that we could trade for Trey Lance. There's a real possibility of that. Do I see it happening? Yes and no. I don't think the Vikings are going to do something like that. We never really do anything like that. And when we do, it's massive news, or it's like in the beginning or middle of the season, like when we got TJ Hawkinson from the Lions. Like, how do we bamboozle? How do we bamboozle the Lions to get TJ Hawkinson? Didn't make any sense. But I liked it. I enjoyed it. So maybe we do get Trey Lance. Yeah, maybe after the 2023 season, 24 season, I could see that happening as well. See, Kirk Cousins is San Fran, but then why would you sign Sam Darnold? Why would you make that move? Like, does that make sense to you guys? I don't understand it. I don't understand it one bit. But it is what it is, right? You got Brock Purdy, Trey Lance, Jimmy G, which, speaking of Jimmy G. Yep, me too. Me too, A-Rules. But speaking of Jimmy Garoppolo, longtime quarterback in the National Football League, played for the Patriots, moved over to San Fran, went to a Super Bowl, lost it, probably could have won, but he is officially on the move. Jimmy G is now a Las Vegas Raider. Yeah, Jimmy G signing a massive contract with the Las Vegas Raiders. A little comp update from Adam Schefter. Jimmy G, the Raiders are giving former 49ers quarterback Jimmy G a 3-year, $67.5 million deal, including $34 million guaranteed per source. This is a massive deal. This is good for Jimmy. Probably good for his career. I will say this. I did not believe he was going to end up in Las Vegas. I did not think this was going to happen. Something told me that Tampa Bay seemed more appealing. Carolina seemed more appealing. Well, until they got rid of DJ Moore. Houston. Okay. New York with the Jets. Yeah. Dude, yes, for sure. I would. But Jimmy G, did you guys see that coming? Where did you think Jimmy G was going to end up before hearing the news that he's a Las Vegas Raider? I honestly thought Tampa. But obviously Tom Brady was there, so that makes it. You thought Tampa 2A rules? That is what I was thinking. Because I know the Raiders were in on Rodgers for a little bit, but it sounds like that deal is about to get done. Somebody said it's done. Don Cleveland or something like that, but apparently nothing has actually happened yet. So we'll keep an eye on that. But Jimmy G to Las Vegas is a big move. That's a fun move. Can't wait to see what he does with Davante Adams and company. There's a lot of questions surrounding if he can pass or not. Okay, we've seen it. Super Bowl, what was it, against the Chiefs? A lot of underthrows, a lot of overthrows. Just was inconsistent. Didn't he pass like 9 times leading up to that Super Bowl too? Like what? You just run the ball? You just run the ball? Big day for sure, Mark. Appreciate you. Absolute chaos right now. Rodgers would go to Tampa? Maybe. Don't think that's going to happen, though. I think New York is going to be his landing spot pending the trade whenever it happens. Real quick, let's see here. There's a couple new things that we'll get to towards the end of the show today. Shout out to y'all. Sam Darnold does have new life. But why Niners? Why San Fran? That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I'm confused. I really have no words for it. Really have no words for it. But Jimmy G, 3 years, $67.5 million, $34 million guaranteed from the Las Vegas Raiders. That was probably one of the biggest moves that we've seen today. Yes, booty cheeks, Sam Darnold. Booty cheeks. San Fran, I guess we'll figure it out. We'll see what happens. We'll see what's happening after that. Or during like training camp and stuff, what they're actually going to do with Sam Darnold. Like, who are they going to let go? Are they going to trade Trey Lance, stuff like that? Jimmy G now out of the building to Las Vegas. More moves are going to be underway. Today was the opening of the legal tampering period for the NFL. That means players and teams can kind of meet up, have conversations, get to an agreement on a deal, and those deals don't become finalized until Wednesday at 3 p.m. Central Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because that is the start of the new league year. Contracts become official at that part. Yeah, I agree. Oh, wow. Future MVP. Okay. We'll see about that. We'll see about that, Mark. I do not see that happening at all, man. At all. In other news, the Lions made a move. What's up, Brody? Appreciate you for tuning in, my guy. A lot of stuff happening. Free agency frenzy is straight chaos. I mean, there has been moves after moves after moves. But I'm enjoying it, man. I am enjoying it immensely. We've already pumped out 4 videos today. Thought I'd go live because there was way too much to kind of keep up on. So shout out to everyone who is tuning in. Make sure to drop that like, subscribe to the channel. Be much appreciated. We're at 230 subs right now. Trying to get to 240. You don't have to sub, but much, much appreciated. Slinging rocks to Debo. Sam Darnold, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I don't know if he's going to be throwing rocks, but I don't even know if he can hit the broadside of a barn, to be honest with you. A Rule says Kirk Cousins for MVP and Super Bowl champ 2024 before his departure in honor of the late, great Bud Grant. I don't know. I'm hoping. I hope so. I hope so, man. We're always dreaming of a championship over here in Minnesota. Probably not going to happen. We'll keep hope. We'll keep out hope for that one. But in other news, Kirk chokes. There you go. Plain and simple. Couldn't said it easier. Do it for Bud. Hashtag do it for Bud. I like that. I like that. But let's get moving. Another move. Detroit Lions are trying to beef up their defense a little bit. They have done so. They re-signed Alex Anzalone. I know Grid from the Gridiron Blitz ain't too ecstatic about it, but it is what it is. But they needed to make more moves for their DBs. Well, they land a big one. Former Pittsburgh Steeler. Mark's team right there. Shout out Steelers Nation, Australia. Per Ari Mirov, former Steelers cornerback Cameron Sutton is expected to sign with the Lions on a 3-year, $33 million deal per Ian Rappaport. Sutton can play inside and out. Detroit getting involved. This is their first move of the day. Pretty massive one, if you ask me. Pretty massive deal. Because Detroit has had had trouble last season kind of stopping the deep ball, it seemed like. Now, I don't know what I'm 100% talking about when it comes to the Detroit Lions. I'll leave that to Detroit Lions Syndicate or, the Gridiron Blitz. But from an outsider looking in, they just it seemed as if they had a hard time kind of stopping the passing attack. Okay, teams would just march down the field, right? They were like, what was it? They let up like 30-some points or something like that per game. No. I can't remember off the top of my head, but this is good. This is a big move for Detroit. They're trying to get back on that right path. Okay, I mean they're moving in the right direction. Dan Campbell's an absolute. I mean he is a dog. Okay, grit, determination. He is the pure. Like when you look at Detroit, you see Dan Campbell. Plain and simple. I think everyone can agree with me on that. So Cam Sutton goes to the Detroit Lions, 3 years, $33 million deal. Dan does have a lot to learn. Yes, he does. Yeah, they started 1-6. They went to 8-8. Damn near made the playoffs. So Detroit's heading in the right direction, especially after that Hard Knocks. I really enjoyed watching that. Kind of, even though I'm a diehard Vikings fan, this channel is strictly for NFL. I enjoyed watching what the Lions are kind of, building over there. They are not trash anymore. It's not the same old Lions. It's the brand new Lions. Okay, get used to it. That's just an honest opinion, looking from the outside in. I think Detroit, okay, now they haven't made the playoffs in, a couple years. They haven't won the NFC North ever, I don't think. But I think they're headed in the right direction. I have hope for Detroit. I really do. But I will say, when they play the Minnesota Vikings, they are going to get beat back-to-back times, okay? Stamp it, double stamp it, triple stamp it, whatever you got to do. That is my prediction, all right? You can be as good as you want, but you ain't beating the Minnesota Vikings. Sorry about it, okay? You might beat Green Bay now that Aaron Rodgers is potentially out of the building. Chicago, we're going to get to them, okay? They are making moves. Moves, I'm telling you, man. They have absolutely gone full steam ahead this offseason. Now, as for the AFC, one of the AFC teams over there in the AFC West division, I believe the Kansas City Chiefs had a decision to make whether or not they wanted to continue to roll with or sign an extension for Orlando Brown, their right tackle or offensive tackle. However, they have decided to part ways with Orlando Brown, and they have signed none other than Jawan Taylor. Former Jaguars offensive tackle Jawan Taylor reached an agreement on a 4-year, $80 million deal, including $60 million guaranteed with the Kansas City Chiefs, per sources. Deal was negotiated and confirmed by Drew Rosenhaus and Robert Bailey. Now, Drew Rosenhaus knows what he's doing, okay? I mean, how many contracts is that already? He's got 1, 2. He's going to have 3 with Aaron. I mean, Drew Rosenhaus knows what he is doing. He ain't playing games. He's going to get his players their money. He is going to get his players their money. Jordan Love is not winning MVP, John. Sorry about it. Yeah, that is a deal, right? That is a deal. Bills or Mini? What you mean by that? Big Jawan Taylor. This is a massive signing. Big deal. This made the Chiefs way better. But at the same time, did it? I think Jawan Taylor's younger than Orlando Brown. But Orlando Brown has proven himself over there. But I guess Jawan Taylor's a dog. This sucks for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Okay, they lose a pass protector, a run blocker. I don't know what they're going to do. They do have Calvin Ridley back in the building. Christian Kirk's still over there. So their offense might be okay. Maybe Jacksonville decides to go draft an offensive lineman. Whatever the case may be. But maybe they sign Orlando Brown. Kind of do a little bit of a flip-flop. But Jawan Taylor, massive payday. 4 years, $80 million, $60 million guaranteed. That shows you just how valuable offensive linemen are in the National Football League. Yeah, you better. I'm telling you. Double stamp it. Triple stamp it. Whatever it may be. Jordan Love not winning MVP. And if he does, I'll eat my words. But I do not see that happening. At all. All right. So we have some more news as well. Jawan Taylor, that was a big one. Surprised the Chiefs decided to go away from Orlando Brown. It makes you wonder if Orlando Brown wanted more money. Because if not, why wouldn't you? I guess we'll find out when the season starts to move forward. Another one. Here comes the Vikings. All right. This move irritated me. This move really irritated me. And it's not because I don't like the signing. I mean, I don't. It's not that I don't like the player. I don't like the signing. Doesn't make any sense. Okay, the Vikings are still $7 million over the cap space. All right? So that means we have to clear $7 million, right? Instead of releasing somebody or restructuring contracts today, which I expected to happen before signing anybody, we decide to go out and sign none other than Josh Oliver. Who? Exactly. Couldn't tell you. But per Mike Garafolo, the Vikings have agreed to terms with tight end Josh Oliver on a 3-year, $21 million deal. Sources says he gets $10.75 million or $750,000 guaranteed and has incentives that can take the deal up to $24 million. And apparently, he's one of the best blocking tight ends in the league. Okay? Who gives a shit? Not me. I do not care. Okay, we got TJ Hawkinson, Irv Smith, I believe he's still on the team, Johnny Munt, Zach Davidson, and I believe there's one other guy. Why in the world are we signing a tight end when we still need to clear $7 million up? When we could be focusing elsewhere. Now, when I say we, it's because I'm a fan. Why not get a linebacker? Tremaine Edmonds was there. Not anymore. We'll talk about him. What about a corner? Re-sign Patrick Peterson. Oh, wait, he's a Steeler. We'll get to him, too, in just a few moments. Why not a D tackle, even though we got some? Why not a safety? Anything defensively. But no, we're going to go out and we're going to sign the best blocking tight end in the National Football League. Or one of, excuse me. For $21 million. Makes no sense. I don't think he got cut. But we need defensive pieces. Thielen was a cap casualty. Okay, that's business. Hate to see him go. But I wish nothing but success. But what is this going to do? Are we trying to run the ball a little bit more, even though we're a pass-first offense? Maybe help out Dalvin if we decide to keep him, or whoever we're going to sign at running back. Maybe bring back Alexander Madison, or just roll with Kene Nwangwu, Ty Chandler, whatever the case may be. Maybe sign one or draft one in this year's draft. I don't like this. I think it's dumb. Straight up, that's all I think about. It's just dumb. Like, you could have put your resources somewhere else and try to get a defensive piece. Or you could have boosted our offensive line and actually signed an offensive lineman that's worth a damn, okay? Because we still have rookie, or now into year 2 at Ingram, who probably isn't going to be the best thing in the world. What's up with Garrett Bradbury? Not sure. He performed all right last year. Hopefully Brian O'Neill comes back after his Achilles injury, I believe was, that's what he suffered last year. But none of it makes sense. None of it. We do need to start blitzing. But in order to do that, we need linebackers. And we signed a tight end by the name of Josh Oliver. His stats, now he's a blocking tight end, so don't get over your head, okay? And the Ravens had Mark Andrews. In his first year, when he was drafted in the 3rd round by Jacksonville, 3 catches, 15 yards. Okay? 2021. 9 catches, 66 yards. Hell yeah, brother. In 2022, he had 14 catches, 149 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Let's go. Go. I don't like it. I do not like it. I do not care for it. If he turns to be a stud or turns out to be a stud and helps our run game, then so be it. But this just does not sit pretty with me. At all. Whatever. It's the Vikes. They're going to Viking like they do usually. So we'll see what happens. Now we're probably $14 million over the cap space, even though, no, this doesn't count until Wednesday. So we're okay. But we still have to get under. So, whatever. There's so much that has to happen yet. But we're going to move forward. Because there's one team in particular in the same division as the Minnesota Vikings in the NFC North that has been on an absolute tear as of recent. None other than the Chicago Bears. Making moves left and right. These guys are electric to watch this offseason. I'm telling you, if you haven't seen anything from the Chicago Bears, let's just say they mean business. They want to win, and they're going to do it now. Okay, they ain't sitting around for another 5-10 years. Chicago means business. All right, we'll get to all their signings, but they made a massive one earlier today. I released a video on that. If you want to check it out and get the full scoop, make sure to hop on over to the channel page and give it a look. But let's just put it like this. Per Adam Schefter, the Bears are giving former Bills linebacker Tremaine Edmunds a 4-year, $72 million deal that includes $50 million guaranteed per source. It is the largest 4-year contract for an inside linebacker in the National Football League. And like Mark said, the Bears, Bear Don. This is a massive move. Huge move for Chicago, right? They get rid of Roquan Smith, Robert Quinn. Their defense looks like shit. What do? Well, they bring in a couple guys. Not only did they bring in Tremaine Edmunds, but they brought in another one as well. Okay? Let's look at what the Chicago Bears have done this offseason. All right? Let's just take a look. We'll start from the bottom of it, and we'll work our way up. First and foremost, they traded the number 1 overall pick to get wide receiver DJ Moore. They got pick number 9, pick number 61, a 2024 first-round draft pick, and a 2025 second-round draft pick. Okay? Then what did they do? Well, as soon as their legal tampering period opened up, they're going to sign guard Nate Davis to a 3-year, $30 million deal. That'll become official on Wednesday. Then they go out and they're going to sign linebacker TJ Edwards to a 3-year, $19.5 million deal. And then they just made this one, signing linebacker Tremaine Edmunds, 4 years, $72 million. So now they have their linebacker situation figured out. They got somewhat of their line figured out for the most part. They get their wide receiver room figured out. Mark says trade Claypool for a bag of chips, and they will be even better. Hammer that home. Chase Claypool, not a dog. Not great. All right? So the Chicago's wide receiver room, I believe, is DJ Moore, Darnell Mooney, and Chase Claypool. I believe. And they have N'Keal Harry, if I'm not mistaken. But they can also draft another guy, give Justin Fields another weapon, or maybe they go tight end. That would make a lot of sense. The Bears are making moves. They're sick of being at the top, bottom of the totem pole in the NFC North. They want to win. They want to win now. They are chasing a Lombardi like every team is in the National Football League. They're making moves left and right, and Ari Mirov said it at the bottom there. Apparently, more moves are coming. And boy, oh boy, would I love to see that. I believe at the start of the free agency period, Chicago had the most cap space available. I think it was like $98 million they had available to spend. So there's probably more deals coming. And I'm not sure what they're going to be, but I'm sure they're going to be massive. Imagine if OBJ ends up in Chicago or DeAndre Hopkins. Probably not going to happen, but just imagine. Maybe they pick up some defensive pieces, some corners. Maybe another linebacker, doubt it. Maybe a defensive end, D-tackle. They ain't playing games, baby. Chicago is making moves. Get out the way. The Bears are making moves. Tremaine Edmunds, the latest, 4 years, $72 million. Shout out to everyone who is tuning in today. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel. It'd be much, much appreciated. Free agency has been straight chaos. We got a couple more things to cover before we end the stream. We've been in this room for about 6 straight hours, actually. Almost 7 straight hours, so it's been a blast. You know, I'm having fun getting the news out and stuff like that. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. Much appreciated. We have some more news, though, that we got to cover and bounce around to the Atlanta Falcons. This move was interesting. I appreciate that, A-Rules. But I like this move. Falcons are also one of those teams that are at the bottom of the totem pole in that NFC South division with the Saints, Bucks, and Panthers. And they were not great last year. Okay, there was thoughts of them maybe going after a quarterback this season or this offseason. But it sounds as if they're going to continue to roll with Desmond Ridder after saying, yeah, we are not going to be going after Lamar Jackson. Okay, make sure to send that out. Now, that's probably all just a chess game or chess move for Atlanta. Maybe they are actually going to take a look at Lamar Jackson. But still, they had to make other changes. Defensively, offensively. This one is defense. And it's a big move. This is a massive, massive news. Let's see, or massive move, excuse me. Per Adam Schefter and Field Yates, the Falcons are giving former Bengals safety Jesse Bates a 4-year, $64.02 million deal that includes $23 million in year one and $36 million in the first 2 years of the deal per source. He now is the 4th highest paid safety in NFL history. One of the most impactful free agents available is heading to the Falcons, per Field Yates. Big move. Now, there was talks of him potentially ending up, I believe, in Miami, but maybe now the chips are falling for them to get Jordan Poyer, who's a free agent from the Buffalo Bills, or a former Buffalo Bill. He's looking to find a new home. Maybe that happens. But Jesse Bates, absolute dog, okay? Played for Cincinnati the last couple of years, went to a Super Bowl with them. They lost, unfortunately, but he is a damn good safety. Now, if we look at his stats real quick, which I should have had pulled up a million years ago, he gets the job done. He gets the job done. Let's see how quick it is to pull it up. All right, so last year, it looks like he had 71 combined tackles. 71. Okay, so not his best year for tackles at all. He's actually a dog his first 3 years. In 2018, 111 tackles, 2019, 100, 2020, 109, 2021, 88, and then 2022, 71. So it's kind of going down. But the thing that isn't going down is his interceptions. First 3 years of the league, he had 3 interceptions each year. Okay, in 2021, he only had 1 interception, but last season, where he flourished, where he performed exceptionally well, okay, got the job done. Now he's with the Dirty Birds. He had 4 interceptions. 4 interceptions last season. Not sure where that puts him in the ranking-wise, or how many, what does it compare to the other people that got interceptions? I don't know. I can't speak right now, but you understand what I'm trying to say. Like, where does he rank in interceptions last season? 4 of them is pretty good. Okay, you're getting an absolute dog. And Atlanta's trying to boost their team, trying to become better, and this move definitely does that. Definitely does that. Hey, appreciate you, A-Rules. Have a great rest of your day. Great rest of your day. If you need any more stories, make sure to check out the videos that I have posted. Shout out. Make sure to drop a like on your way out as well. But Jesse Bates heading to the Atlanta Falcons. 4 years, $64.02 million. What's up, Boxing MMA? Atlanta need him. That's a good signing. I agree. That's a very good signing because they don't have shit down there, to say the least. One move that they made, okay, so if you're an Atlanta fan, I'm not sure if you are, but basically right away, and I didn't touch on this, the Patriots are trading Jonnu Smith to the Falcons. Tight end. Tight end. What about Kyle Pitts? Are they moving Kyle Pitts to wide receiver? Are they moving Kyle Pitts to wide receiver? Or are they going to run a 2 tight end split? That's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't think Jonnu has a lot left in the tank. I don't think he's that great, but that was really weird for the Atlanta Falcons to kind of go pluck Jonnu from the Patriots. I guess it kind of makes sense, but I think we're going to see a lot of Kyle Pitts in that slot formation, or in that slot spot, basically. But there you have it, Jesse Bates. 4 years, $64.02 million. That includes $23 million in year one and $36 million in the first 2 years of that deal. All right, we ain't finished. We are not finished at all. We still got a couple more things to touch on. Well, longtime Arizona Cardinal, future Hall of Famer, going to be in the Cardinals Ring of Honor, former Minnesota Viking. Patrick Peterson was a free agent, and he is on the move. Per Adam Schefter, the Steelers reached an agreement with Pro Bowl cornerback Patrick Peterson. Not really sure on the details of the contract. All I do know is it's a 2-year deal. Like I said, the comp has not come out for what exactly, or what the exact amount of money is on this. But Patrick Peterson, who's a stud, okay? He's a Pro Bowl corner. He's been there, done that. Really hasn't lost a step. You could say he has, just a little bit. John, you are a little bit behind, my guy. But this was a big move for Pittsburgh. Their defense has always been stellar, okay? And they're just adding a veteran to that locker room to maybe help them a little bit. Get over that hump. But I think Pittsburgh, I'm not 100% sure, they are buying quality. You're going to get a very, very good corner in Patrick Peterson. I don't think he's lost a step. Last season, what did he have? 7? Did he have 7 INTs? Let's see. No, that can't be right. Patrick Peterson stats. No, he had 5. 5 interceptions last year. 66 total tackles. If I'm looking year to year, he averages anywhere from about 50 to 65 tackles a year. Okay, he really doesn't get too many sacks. Otherwise, interception-wise, as interceptions go, last year was his second best year for interceptions. His best year was in 2012 with Arizona with 7. You're getting a consistent corner who can guard the wide receivers, is not afraid to get into somebody's grill. He's a dog. I like this move. I'm sure Mark does as well. Patrick Peterson has agreed on a 2-year deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Not sure if he's going to play both years, but they are, as Boxing MMA said, buying quality. That is what they're getting out of Pat P, is straight quality. So congrats to Patrick Peterson on finding a new home. I wish he would have stayed with the Minnesota Vikings. But it is what it is, man. I'm not sure how much this deal is. Like I mentioned before, maybe it's like a $6 million deal or something like that. I couldn't imagine it being too much more. Maybe he's getting the vet min. Not really sure on that front. However, we are now on our last little bit of information before we look at Twitter real quick before we get off. But we've been on for an hour, which is kind of what I expected us to be on for. So shout out to y'all for tuning in and getting the news, man. Today has been straight chaos in the National Football League. I'm talking, I completely forgot the legal tampering period opened up today, and my phone has been nonstop going off. But it's been fun. It has been a blast. Let's see where we're at. Okay, so I'm just going to go to straight Twitter because why not? It's easier to find the information there. I want to make sure I get like who the information is from so I can tell you guys. Let's see where we're at. There's some interesting rule changes that have been proposed that we're going to talk about here as well. Let's see. Bada bing, bada boom. Per Tom Pelissero. Hey, I appreciate that, Boxing. I appreciate that, man. I'm trying my best. Really am. We got some more things that we need to fix. I mean, this room is not the biggest thing in the world, but I enjoy it. Per Tom Pelissero, the Raiders are signing safety Marcus Epps to a 2-year, $12 million deal with nearly $8 million guaranteed per source. Now, Marcus Epps is 27, and he started all 20 games for Philadelphia last season. You're going to get a quality player, buying quality again. You're going to get a stud, and I hope he does well with Las Vegas. I'm not really sure on his production. If we look real quick, though, I guess I could pull it up as well. Bam. Okay, so he tackles. He's a tackler. I guess he's a safety, so that makes a lot of sense. Last year, 94 combined tackles. No sacks, no interceptions. In 2021, 62 total tackles, an interception. And in 2020, he had 47 combined tackles and 2 picks. So it seems like they kind of changed his role a little bit. Maybe he's playing more now and he's just a dog. He's just going to get the tackles and and let other people get the INTs. But I think the Raiders are getting a good piece, a good addition to their team, to that defense. It'll be interesting going forward how he does, or to see how he does. Let's see. Per ESPN Stats and Info, Marcus Epps played 1,058 defensive snaps last season. Wow. The most by any Eagles player. That's ridiculous. 8 of Philly's top 9 players by total defensive snaps last season have either left, are current free agents, or have received permission to seek a trade. Okay. There we go. So Marcus Epps is a Las Vegas Raider for 2 years, $12 million, $8 million guaranteed. Now we go over to one of the rules that have been submitted, or a proposal, per Tom Pelissero. In non-free agency news, the Eagles submitted a rule proposal that would allow players to wear number 0. What do you guys think about that? Raiders did have a great day. They did. But what do you think about that? Do you think somebody should be allowed to wear number 0? Why not? I mean, you're letting defensive ends wear 15. Might as well let them wear 0, right? It's just, yeah, right, John? That's what I think. Exactly. I think this will get passed. I don't see why it wouldn't, unless the NFL is just stingy and doesn't want it to happen. But that has been one rule that has been proposed, that players can be allowed to wear number 0. It hasn't been voted on. I think, I'm not really sure the exact date when they have the owners meeting for the NFL, but they will kind of decide it then. And I believe it needs a majority vote, 2/3 majority vote or something like that. Yeah, Josh Gordon looks sweet in the XFL. Shout out to Seattle Sea Dragons. I think number 0 should be allowed to be worn in the National Football League. No doubt. No doubt. And alongside that, the Eagles also submitted a proposal to adopt the XFL-style onside kick substitute, permitting a team to maintain possession of the ball after a score by substituting one offensive play, 4th and 20 from the kicking team's 20-yard line for an onside kickoff attempt. So take away the offsides, or take away the onside kick, okay? And then you would just have it 4th and 20, or be 4th and 20 on the kicking team's 20, if that makes any sense. So, like, here's the field, okay? The kicking team's right here. You're receiving right here. Instead of that, you're going to have the ball on their 20, and it's going to be 4th and 20, right? So it'll be 4th and 20, and your ball will be on the 40 on the opposing team's side of the field. And then you get a chance, one play. If you convert it, you keep the ball, you keep going, try to score again. If you don't convert it, it's the other team's ball at that spot. So that has been another rule that has been proposed by the Philadelphia Eagles. That'll be interesting. That'll be very interesting to see what happens. Still, no moving on any of the wide receivers today. Field Yates said the slowest moving market so far in free agency has been at wide receiver, as no wide receiver has agreed to terms on a reported deal yet today. The top options remain Odell Beckham Jr., Jacoby Myers, Juju Smith-Schuster, Adam Thielen, DJ Chark, and Allen Lazard are all still free agents. I'm sure we're going to see the movement on them within the coming days, at least maybe before Wednesday, maybe not. OBJ, I can expect something to happen maybe after Wednesday. I think that would make the most sense. As for Adam Thielen, DJ Chark, Juju, Allen Lazard, Jacoby Myers, I think they get deals done here within maybe tomorrow, maybe as the night finishes it up, but I still haven't finished kind of scrolling up to see the deals at all. The Chargers have submitted a proposal as well. Now, this one's interesting that I've seen. Ari Mirov said the Chargers have submitted a proposal where wild card teams would be seeded higher than division champs in the postseason if the wild card team finished with 4 or more wins than a division champ who finished below 500. That would have applied this past year with Dallas and Tampa. So basically, if you're a wild card team from a different division and somebody won their division, okay, so like Tampa Bay had a worse record than Dallas, right? Dallas was a wild card team and they won their wild card round, they would then be seeded higher than Tampa Bay. Now, I don't think this is going to happen, okay? If you win your division, you either get seed 1, 2, 3, or 4. Sorry about it. If you want a higher seed, win your damn division, okay? Get over it. Shouldn't have let Philadelphia win, okay? And for the Chargers, I mean, you guys choke anyways. Yeah, 100%. It's not going to get passed. I do not believe it's going to get passed, okay? If you want a higher seed, perform better, win your damn division. Simple as that, right? Okay, moving on. Let's see. Ooh, the Giants' big splash of free agency. Sources say they have agreed to terms with Colts free agent linebacker Bobby Okereke, giving him a new face in the middle of their defense. It's a 4-year, $40 million deal with $22 million guaranteed. Massive signing there for the Giants. They sure up some their linebacker room on the defensive side of things, so good for them. Trying to get better. He's a young inside backer, comes from the Colts. He had 151 tackles this. Oh my God. 151 tackles this past season. So Bobby Okereke, absolute dog. And the Giants land him. The Bears were in on Okereke earlier, but they ended up with T.J. Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds, so I'm sure they're not too pissed about that at all. Okay, best way to make a pitch to a team as a free agent. Play well against them. Bobby Okereke had 17 tackles against the Giants on New Year's Day. Was a rare bright spot for the Colts that day. As for this hit, they showing the hit. I will not be putting that on here, unfortunately. All right, Denver is re-signing linebacker Alex Singleton to a 3-year, $18 million deal, including $9 million guaranteed. Good for Denver, shoring up that defense a little bit. Panthers made a couple moves. Who cares? All right. Let's see what else. I don't believe there is anything else happening so far. Per Ari Mirov, just so we can end it off this way, which I think it's smart to do. Top available free agents currently as we stand. There's still more to happen, but Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is still available via free agency. Orlando Brown, okay, offensive tackle. James Bradbury, DB. Come on, Vikes. Let's go. Make a signing. Jacoby Myers, Levante David, Dalton Schultz, Caleb McGarry. Don't know who that is. Isaac Siamalu. Bobby Wagner is still available as well. That is going to be interesting to see where he goes. Does he go back to Seattle? Does he go to Dolphins? I don't know. We'll find out. Chauncey. I hope Chauncey comes to the Vikes. Bring him home, baby. I need him. The Vikes need him. Please, give me him. Zach Allen is also a free agent. Jordan Poyer, probably going to end up a Miami Dolphin, but only time will tell on that front. I'm sure there's other options for him to kind of take a look at. And then Marcus Davenport and Juju Smith-Schuster still available via free agency. Many, many more moves to come within the next couple days, at least before Wednesday. Maybe some will happen after Wednesday. We got a long week ahead of us, but I am excited for it. Just like boxing said, some damn good players available, and I cannot wait to see what happens and what transpires next. Hopefully there's more news. Probably not going to be more news tonight, being that it is past 6 p.m. or at 7 p.m. Central Time currently right now. But if there is more news, I will try to break it via video, and we'll probably be back here tomorrow. If there's a lot of moves made tomorrow, I will drop some videos. We'll be back live at 6 p.m. Central Time like we were today. But yeah, man, lots have happened. Straight chaos. And there you have it. Appreciate everyone who tuned in today. That's the free agency tracker as we speak. A lot of things happened. Austin Eckler, Calais Campbell, Jason Kelsey, yada, yada, yada. Tremaine Edmonds to the Bears. You get it. You guys were here for the news, and I appreciate you tremendously. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your night. More moves to come. Free agency is live and well. All these deals, remember, don't become finalized till Wednesday when the new league year begins, which is at 3 p.m. Central Time. So shout out to y'all for watching, man. Make sure to drop a like on your way out and subscribe to the channel. It would be much, much appreciated. So we'll see you guys later, and you just got your fix with the Wicks.